bro. This show is so good in my opinion. So when Joey liked Rachel and stuff like that, bro, like how did that not make sense, bro? Like he was one of the biggest players and he fell for a girl. And honestly, Joey has such a big heart, bro. I'm sorry. Ross and Rachel's relationship, bro, was so toxic, bro. They were both selfish. They were always trying to make each other jealous. Like it just didn't. And honestly, somebody had a good point, bro. Like in the series, like Ross and Rachel weren't even that much of a couple. The only time they were a couple was season 3, bro. For the rest of
Let's get started.
what you got for us today, K.M.B? What you got for us today, K.M.B? Hey, K.M.B, what you got for us today, K.M.B? What is up? Today we are going to talk about longest TV show series. You know, last month we talked about movies. So you guys want to go check those out? Check those out. If you're into TV shows, you might like this month. But like I said, we're going to start off with just TV show series that last very, very long. Not shows that literally got canceled in one season because that's how bad they are. But like I said, I would say a long-lasting show is a show that lasted over more than 4 years. But here I looked up some of the TV shows that are long-lasting, and then I give you some of my feedback on some other shows. I guess however, we're just gonna roll with it. First show we're going to talk about is Law and Order Special Victims Unit. You know, this has been around for 26 years. Okay, that's a pretty long time. That's even older than I am. And I'm pretty old, bro. I'm an unk now. I'm on unk status, bro. It's crazy to say that. But no, like I said, this show's been around for like 26 years. I'm just joking. That's not unk status, but what I'm getting at though is the show has been around for quite a while, quite some time. And in my opinion, I think cop shows just work in general though for like a long lasting time. You know, like there is people out there that are not into like cop drama shows, but me personally, I am. Like I watched like Hawaii 5 that was whole 10 seasons, and guess what? That show was still good, bro. Like honestly, I think the problem is though with long lasting shows, I think it's easier for cop shows to do this, but like with long lasting shows is that you're constantly needing to come up with ideas and stuff like that. But like I said, I don't really know Law and Order like that, but here's the thing with Law and Order is that there is so much Law and Orders out there. You know, I believe it started off with that one and stuff like that. And also, if you're a rap fan, you know Ice-T's in it too. But besides the point, though, I mean, the show must be good if they're having spin-offs. The show's been on for 26 years and stuff like that. And again, I'm sure the writers are struggling out here because it's like, what can we do to still entertain these people? I think it is crazy, like I said, that Law and Order like basically made cop drama shows as they are now. You know, like so many people are into those type of shows. I'm into those type of shows. So it is pretty cool of that one show that lasted for over 26 years started it. Other show that we're going to talk about is, I'm sure that we all watch it or heard of it before. They even made a movie about it, is The Simpsons. I think it's crazy that The Simpsons like started off this on this like little short clip from this one show and made a show about this family. And it's crazy of how long, I believe it's like 32 years the show's been on. Like, bro, I grew up watching this. Like, and I think it's even crazier is that there's shows like Family Guy and South Park and King of the Hill, bro. Like, let's be honest, all those shows got inspired by that show. I think it's also very cool of this long-lasting show that's been on for over 30 years has a different intro each episode. Bro, how crazy is that? Like, you have to come up with like a new theme song, or not theme song, a new intro every production, and animation's hard. Like it costs a lot to animate stuff. Um, I think it's cool too about the show is that they're like they have these unique characters. You know, their town's very like relatable to a lot of Midwest people. Um, I think like I said, the characters are very unique. I think it's kind of cool how they kind of keep the Christmas specials going. They keep the Halloween specials going. They do a lot of cool work. Like the writers deserve more credit than a lot of people think. Um, Other show that I'm gonna talk about is I'm sure all of us as kids used to watch it and stuff like that is Sesame Street. I can't believe how long that show's been on. I think it's still running. I don't know. I forgot to do a lot of research before this pod. I'm sorry guys, but Sesame Street. Let's be honest, we all grew up on it and stuff like that. Oscar the Grouch used to be my favorite. It's so funny. As a kid, I used to always like the grumpy characters, even though I was not a grumpy kid. So it's kind of a little ironic. Um, but no, Oscar the Grouch. Let's be honest. We all mocked Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster. Like we all did the voice before. I honestly don't. I think everybody knew who Elmo was, but Elmo was. I feel like not everyone's favorite. I don't know. That's just me. But well, here's the thing though about like Elmo is that he's bright and red, so he catches like people's eyes more. So I think that's why he catches a lot of kids' attentions. Wait, all of them do. Just ignore me. Um, but weren't they gonna change Cookie Monster into Veggie Monster? I don't know if they even did that or not, but still, the show has been lasting on for so long, and who knew that just a bunch of puppets can keep a show running. Um, Another show I'm gonna talk about, never got into it, but I know a lot of people are into it, is Grey's Anatomy and stuff like that. It's crazy about Grey's Anatomy that how long it's been on and how many other medical shows there are that are probably got inspired by that. Other shows that I am gonna talk about real fast is I think it's crazy that it's literally around in my area is Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Chicago Med. Like those shows been on for so long, and it's so cool that I'm near Chicago, so it's kind of cool that they actually film in that city too. Um, but yeah, Grey's Anatomy, it's been on for so long. A lot of people are obsessed with it. They're on their 18th season apparently. Wow. Another cop show I'm gonna talk about is NCIS. NCIS, bro, it's been on for so long. Your parents probably like you were just born when your parents probably started watching that show, bro. Like it's crazy that all these shows also too were on back when it was just cable. Before like streaming services even became a thing. And now all these shows you can literally watch 20 something seasons of these shows on a streaming service, bro. Like that's a little crazy to think about. Any news? I'm gonna talk about another show that's been on for so long, and it made a bunch of comedians famous, bro. Like, and honestly, as I talk about him all the time, Adam Sandler, he got big off of this show, Saturday Night Live. It's so crazy to me that this show is still around, dude. Like this show's been around. I think even when my dad was a kid, like. Dude, that's crazy to think about. Hold on, let me do the research real fast. No. Bro, it's been around since my dad was a baby, bro. Like that's crazy to think about. That this show is still airing till this day. They're still coming out with new skits. They're adding, new comedians, of course. But like, still, dude, like, you gotta give props where props is due, man. Like, and I'm sure there is, with long-lasting shows, there are going to be bad seasons. There are going to be some bad actors, bad comedians, or whatever. But it's crazy to think about that this show's been on since 1975, bro. And it's just a bunch of skits, dude. And guess what? They're still doing it, man. Can you imagine being at a job for that long? Yikes. Another show we're gonna talk about is there's 23 seasons of it. It got canceled twice. Over 425 episodes. It's called Family Guy. I know I don't really support Family Guy of Seth MacFarlane and his being an atheist, but I'm gonna talk about the show. I see a lot of people's point. I mean, they do make some pretty funny parodies. They do got some funny jokes here and there, but as a diss on religion and stuff like that, I think that steps off of the boundaries a little bit. That's just me. But like I said, I mean, the show, everybody wants to, or not everybody, a bunch of people want to cancel the show and still makes a comeback. They still do it, so, I mean, I'm pretty impressed by the courage of keep coming back no matter what people say. You're still gonna do it. But still, I mean, I think they can chill out on dissing on people's religions in it. But as people do say, comedy's comedy. But still, when it comes to Jesus, I like people not to do that. So, but Family Guy, another long-lasting show, and another long-lasting show I'm gonna talk about is Days of Our Lives. Don't really know much about the show. If it wasn't for Friends, I wouldn't even known this show existed. But it's been around forever and it's still present till this day. I believe it's been around since 1965. Bro, what? And again, they're still making this show, bro. They're still writing new stories. Like, I think soap operas in general just stay along for such a long time because you can easily just kill off characters and people can leave the show and you can add new characters. But it's still crazy that people tune in on this stuff. Another long-lasting show I'm gonna talk about is one of my favorite shows is Friends. Bro, the fact that I don't care what anybody says, bro, the last two seasons were funny, bro. Like, everybody hates when Joey likes Rachel, but dude, I thought that was so cool in the show. I'm going on a whole tangent about this. I don't care. This is like me supporting Friends, bro. This show is so good in my opinion. So, when Joey likes Rachel and stuff like that, bro, like, how did that not make sense, bro? Like, he was one of the biggest players, and he fell for a girl. And honestly, Joey has such a big heart, bro. I'm sorry. Ross and Rachel's relationship, bro, was so toxic, bro. They were both selfish. They were always trying to make each other jealous. Like, it just didn't. And honestly, somebody had a good point, bro. Like, in the series, like, Ross and Rachel weren't even that much of a couple. The only time they were a couple was season 3, bro. For the rest of the seasons, all they did was have sex here and there. Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna say that. There's other sitcoms. I mostly know sitcoms, so I'm just gonna name them that lasted a pretty long time that were actually pretty good. Was Malcolm in the Middle, How I Met Your Mother. I don't really like that show anymore, but I did before, and it lasted nine seasons. You know, us trying to figure out who the mother was. And then as soon as people figure out who the mother was or found out, everyone threw a hissy fit about it. But come on, guys, do you really think it was who you think it was? Because that wouldn't make any sense. But I'm not gonna spoil it. But so forth and so on. You know, I'm just gonna say it. You know, people don't realize how difficult it is to write TV shows. People don't realize how hard it is to film TV shows. There's probably a reason why Disney Channel used to only go out to 4 seasons. Because what you don't realize is you hit a certain amount of seasons, you're going to run out of ideas. You're going to run out of character development. You're going to probably repeat a bunch of stuff that you didn't even realize you're repeating because you don't know what else to do. You don't realize how hard it is to come up with new ideas. So when people diss on shows that be like, oh, this season, the last seasons are horrible and this and that, like, take the show for Lost, for example, okay? Started off such a good show and stuff like that, and then the writers just ran everywhere with it. But you gotta realize, it's like, what else can you do? The audience wants more, and then you give them more, and they don't like it how much it is. You know, it's too much for them. And like I just said with like cop shows, for example, is like all you really got to do is make a crime scene happen, add a little drama there. They're mostly solving the case and stuff like that. But it's not like that sometimes in comedy. You know, you gotta write new material. You gotta write new storylines and stuff like that. And you know, not really add new characters, but like too. And sometimes even on like sitcoms or any shows, like actors will leave the show, dude. Like that can ruin a show. So it's yeah, it can be difficult at times. Yeah, and people don't realize on how hard it is to write or produce or to direct even or act in these shows. So think about before you hate on a show, you know. And again, for all the shows that are long lasting or shows that are just in general, props for you guys to still be running or getting a bunch of seasons because you guys deserve it. Okay, you put that hard work and effort in. But don't forget to thank God in the end of the day. This is Real Talk with K.M.B. and peace. I'm out.